Good morning, everybody. Um, I wrote down some things here that I was debating telling you guys what happened yesterday or not. I guess I'll tell you, and then I'll get into what I wrote down for a little energy update. I basically got semi-electrocuted yesterday. It's a kind of a silly thing, um, but I'm noticing like so much more just like electricity flowing through my body. And it reminds me of when Kundalini first woke up, where the mind kind of is like, what's going on here? This is too much of a charge. And it reminds me of those fears I had when Kundalini woke up of like, this is never going to end. I'm going to go crazy. And that part of me, it kind of flickered up. It's kind of dissolved. There's not much. It takes a lot for me to even like feel that kind of way anymore, because I've gone through so many different energetic initiations, you could say. But yeah, it's really uncomfortable, as this charge that just jolted through my body, as it sort of ebbs away, as I slowly kind of come back to baseline or homeostasis. It was, and it's taken kind of a while. I did some yoga and that was really nice, and a lot of meditation, obviously, and grounding. But yeah, it kind of felt like two things, just like a humble reminder of what it's like to kind of first wake up, and that electric charge of Kundalini as it surges through your body. And it just kind of brought more compassion for those of you who are really in it, who are going through energetically challenging scenarios, who are feeling overburdened with the Kundalini charge. Kind of took me back to those days, because I was for a while. It's not as much now. I mean, it's still a little racy and just like, gosh, it's a lot. But for a little while, it's just like, wow, okay, we got to breathe through this. Let's not believe our thoughts, that kind of thing, right? And so, yeah, I was debating sharing that with you guys or not. And then the second thing, I felt it's like a test from the divine. Like, can you show up today, even with kind of going through something a little bit difficult, and kind of feeling like off, and just like kind of slowly coming back to my center, getting my bearings again, right? It's like that thing when something silly like this happens, it kind of jolts the system and the body, and you just feel kind of like, what the hell? And so, yeah, just letting myself come back to ground, and noticing something in me was like, no, I can still share today. It's okay if it feels a little off, or if we feel, just still kind of the side effects from it. And I was like, and I can use this as a way to connect with those of you who are going through difficult energetic things, and I'm sure that's a lot of you with Kundalini awakening, right? A lot of you are really feeling at your edge with it, are really feeling pushed past your edge with the energy. And that's what I was for a little while, especially last night, right after it had taken place. I was feeling like, oh my gosh, just so much energy. How do I hold this? And it was just a lot of breathing deeply, a lot of soothing the body, a lot of connecting to the deepest knowing in myself that everything's going to be just fine. Everything's going to be completely okay. And that the body will, for you guys going through Kundalini, your body will adapt to this new charge of energy. Your body will be able to hold it. The nervous system will be strong enough for it to feel like harmony in your body eventually. And for those of you feeling like you're just overwhelmed with energy, my advice is to just keep walking forward, just keep breathing, and just keep doing simple things that nourish and care for your body, that nourish and care for your psychological construct, your psyche. And to trust. And that's actually a theme of what came through yesterday too. But that's the big one, just to trust that nothing happens on accident, that life knows how to move you right through this, that life is going to take care of you no matter what kind of energetic situation you're going through, that you are being held, that this is for your highest good, and this is for your highest evolution. And so when you can connect to somewhere inside of yourself that knows all of this, that knows that, yeah, everything's going to be just totally perfect. Everything's going to be fine and perfectly okay. It's like we want to reside there and stay with that place. And we want to believe that voice. You know, a lot of times when we're going through a difficult energetic situation, we'll go in and believe the voice of fear, of the psychological construct that feels overwhelmed. You know, we'll believe the voice of a mind that can't make sense of this much energy and thinks it just has this sense of, oh, this is going to be infinite and this is never going to end. And, you know, it just has the worst case scenarios, right? That are not rooted in truth, that are just rooted in fear and terror. So, you know, when we give our power to those voices, this whatever energetic scenario, and can be a lot more difficult. And I'm just noticing as I'm going through my own little scenario today, how there was a slight temptation here and there to kind of give my power to those voices. And those voices can lead you even into very dark places. Like, I have to kill myself to get out of this. Like, it just kind of flickered up and reminded me, like, oh yeah, that's that path. Though that's kind of what that, it says, oh my, it's basically so scared. It's just like it wants to get out of this any way it can, right? And so just noticing that this is an opportunity for you guys to really deepen into your power, to really root into the place of you that is always okay, that knows that everything is always, you know, divine, that this is all an orchestration of God for our highest evolution, like I was saying earlier. And this is a chance for you to connect with the place of you that just knows truth. And you get to take the power back from the places within your consciousness that are just rooted in fear and worry. And this is how you build strength. This is how the Kundalini grows you up in a sense. It roots you in to what's true within you. Is you got to kind of go through the fire of initiation, maybe several, maybe dozens. And that's kind of what I've been through. I've been through so many energetic fires. And what happened last night was not anything minor in a sense, but it was, the thing is, I've been through, and it kind of was minor, if we're being honest, like in a deeper sense. But what I'm trying to say is I've been through so many energetic initiations that when something like this happens, even though it can feel dramatic and really big and scary, it's just like I'm automatically rooted into this place that's unharmable. You know, it's just like I'm just connected with my unharmable nature. And you know, I've gotten so sturdy through this process that I can be feeling all kinds of ways about all that electricity coursing through my system, and I can still show up and make a video for you guys. You know what I mean? That's where this leads you. That's where the Kundalini, this is the kind of strength that the Kundalini initiation really cultivates in your being, where you can still show up, you can still function even when there's energetic madness and chaos happening within you. This is what God ultimately wants, is you to live from this deeper place in you that's rooted in truth, that trusts life, that knows that nothing happens on accident, that everything's happening for you and not to you. And I think today for myself even, it's showing me my strength, that, hey, silly accidents can happen, and we can get, you know, kind of, whatever the word is, you know, just, you know, kind of, see, this is one of the examples. It's like, we can just kind of get knocked off our center, you know, and sometimes it just happens. It's not our fault. It's just something that was always going to happen. And it's kind of, like I said, it's life testing us. It's life kind of seeing like where we're at. Life is saying, okay, you might have stepped into some power, some strength. How strong are you? You know, how willing are you to still show up? Is this going to be something that derails you, right? And if it does, in a sense, that's okay. If I wasn't able to show up today and it was just too much for me to bear, all this electricity, that would have been, that's fine. It's like the great thing about if you fail a test or whatever from the universe, just to use this metaphor, it's like you get to try again. You always get to try again. That's the beautiful part. It's like they're not actually failing through a quote unquote failure. You just learn. You're at your edge, you're at your limits, and you learn there. And you integrate the lesson, and then you're stronger because of the quote unquote failure. So it's not like you can ever do it wrong. But it is interesting how the universe likes to show us, like, kind of reflect to us, or like, hey, where is he? Can he show up today doing this? Let's let's see how strong he really is. You know, it's that kind of thing. This is just a metaphor I'm using for this experience, and that's the other thing too. We get to create our own meaning through our awakenings, right? And we want to use meanings that empower us. Yeah. So yeah, feeling a bit off, a bit out of it, but I wanted to make this video. I think I'm just gonna leave it as this, and what I wrote down I think will be good for its own video. It's more of an energy update for the collective. Yesterday, before I got semi-electrocuted, I was like getting really tapped into collective energies, and so yeah, when I start getting a bit more grounded, maybe even today, but probably tomorrow, maybe I'll add to it and stuff too, and I'll do maybe a little energy update. But this is what happened. This is what life is. Life is so random. It's so spontaneous. You never know, like, what it's going to throw at you, in a sense. And actually, that was the funny thing. The first thing I did write down on the update was how we try to control life. And then life's like, here's a little bit of here's some electric, whatever, with way too much electricity for your body randomly on an accident. Let's see what this does for you. And it's helped me connect deep. Like, I had to go into my depths last night as it happened and after, to like really find peace within like all the craziness, to really bring a sense of calmness to this animal body that was kind of like freaking out, right? So it's like, I'm getting chills. No matter what is happening, even if it's difficult and challenging, it's like God is trying to bring us into deeper union with the part of us that is, like I was saying earlier, is just always at peace. And that way we can live from there more often. And because I think that's part of the game, is like living from our depths, living from this place that doesn't worry, that's not afraid, that knows that everything's going to be okay, that knows my animal body and nervous system is going to come back to a homeostasis, is going to come back into a harmony again. It might take a little longer than the mind would like. And take that knowing for your own Kundalini process. The Kundalini energy, it will integrate in your body. God wouldn't be giving you this much energy if you didn't have the capacity to integrate it. So just trust that it will start to flow in a way that doesn't cause you so much unease and stress. And to just allow the energy to move. That's been a big thing I've had to do with all this electrical current moving through my body, is I just had to really allow it to just kind of flow. And as I've been allowing it, it's like you could say it was doing this at first, and as we allow, it just kind of slowly comes back into harmony. And that's a big thing with Kundalini energy. If you're able to allow it to flow as much as you can, I know on subconscious and unconscious levels you're going to be resisting it. It's just how it is. But if you're able to just let it flow as much as you're able to, that's going to help it integrate, and that's going to help your experience of it too. And usually we're not really able to let it flow until we totally trust that it's good, that it's divine, that it's love. And you might read a whole bunch of things about Kundalini this, Kundalini that, in a negative sense, but in your heart, you come to this place where you know it's good, and you know it's love, and you're so infinitely grateful that it has awakened in you. And then when you reach that place, that actually, that's a big part of helping it integrate, actually, is really establishing and rooting yourself into those beliefs that this is grace, that this Kundalini awakening is God waking up in you as you. That's something that Craig Holiday always would say, and it really helped me. Okay, yeah, my system's saying enough is enough. All right, sending you guys so much love. Yeah, I really appreciate your support when it comes to donations. If this work resonates with you and you feel compelled to give back in that way, there are always links in the description box and in the comment section as well. Yeah, it's very much appreciated. I hope that even with my a little bit of like, oh, what's going on, that this video is still, there's something in it for you guys. Yeah, sending you infinite love, infinite blessings. Until next time, namaste.